Hey Rise fam, it's JLou. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today's video is going to be a little different, or very different to my usual content. But today I feel like having a chat with you guys. Mostly I kind of want to put my feelings out there and talk myself through some feelings because I think a lot of you guys would relate. My channel is very diverse, you know, much like my background. My mom is from Hong Kong and my dad is French. I grew up in Hong Kong, but I look kind of Western and I sound Western. So I think a lot of you guys who are maybe also Eurasian, or if you guys have an Asian background, an Asian parent, or if you guys are second generation kids, I think this video would relate to you a lot. I feel like when I talk about my feelings out loud, I kind of almost become like my own therapist because I'm hearing things out loud and I'm able to analyze my feelings, the situations, and kind of like see the different perspectives and maybe see what the other side could be feeling or justify their behaviors. Most importantly, I'm hoping that a lot of you guys can relate and can get something out of this too. So as you can see from my title, I am wanting to address my feelings about my relationship with my family. I actually got a DM yesterday. This girl, she said that she spent 3 hours on this piece of artwork and she was just casually asking her mom if she was proud of her. Now we all know that I'm proud of you is not in the vocabulary of an Asian parent. And I've joked about it in my JLou rants on Instagram. It's not like it doesn't exist, you know, you can say, oh, yile white wing. It's never used, you know, even feels weird saying it. It's so formal. It's just something that Chinese people don't say. And I think a lot of people like me who grew up watching maybe Western movies as well, or went to international schools and basically, you know, you communicate in English very well. Obviously, you learn about this phrase, I'm proud of you, and what kind of impact it has. You may start to feel some resentment towards your Chinese or Asian parent who does not express that. But I think it's time to think of it from a different perspective. Back to the girl, she casually asked her mom if she was proud of her and her mom didn't say anything. She asked a few more times and still her mom said nothing, and she said she ended up crying herself to sleep. I think us as children, I don't mean like toddlers, I mean as children of parents, we obviously yearn approval and we yearn for them to tell us they love us and that they're proud of us. But also maybe we have to figure out why you could be doing all the right things, but why they're not saying those things to you. I have a lot of thoughts about this, but before that I want to give a little bit of background of me and my parents. Becoming a content creator, or it started as a YouTuber, it wasn't easy. And I don't just mean on the online aspect, you know, putting yourself out there, yeah, that's really difficult. But I mean privately, in my environment, in my home, it wasn't easy. The whole nature of posting videos online is that it's public. You can't exactly hide. It's not like going to work and coming home and it's like that's just separate and it's, you know, you don't have to really talk about it. Posting yourself online where you only have a few followers, it's scary. You need the support from the people closest around you, because if people closest around you don't like your videos or don't watch your stuff, then you would think, then who would? So when I started, my family was not involved in my videos. I'm not saying they didn't want to be. I have no idea because I didn't let them. In my JLou rants, I talk about how Chinese moms are demanding and shrill, and it's funny, but it's true because there are truths in stereotypes, and a lot of you guys have agreed. It is just starting to feel weird to me that I'm always talking about how my mom's like, and even when I did the video, my parents reacted to my blonde wig. It was only over FaceTime, and I didn't even dare to record my screen to show you guys their reaction. It was just their voices. I don't know if any of you guys noticed that. I don't think so, but they've never been anywhere on my social media. So it's kind of like my parents are a big part of my videos, but at the same time, they're not a part of it at all. I did a TED Talk a couple months ago and I didn't even invite them. And I didn't invite them because I was holding on to resentments of how I felt. Because in my TED Talk, I talked about the power of positivity, how it led social media to become my job, how the support from people around you really helps you achieve your goal, or at least it helped me, because my goal was something so public and I wouldn't have been able to achieve it on my own mentally. And knowing that I would be talking about all that stuff, it just felt odd to invite my parents when I feel like they weren't a part of it and that they didn't deserve to hear it, you know? But the good news is I am doing another TED Talk in October, and this time, no matter what I'm going to be talking about, I'm going to invite them, because it's stupid to hold on to the past. And regardless of what they say afterwards, I know that it would mean a lot to them. So I started making videos in university for fun. It began with an iPhone taped to my bedroom wall. I could only film whenever my family was out. I hid my camera from them, and how our relationship was, there was no way I could tell them to be quiet for 15 minutes or could you please stay in your bedroom while I, film in the living room. There was no way. And when I think of the reasoning behind that, at the time I would have told you it's because they would have said no, or they would have scoffed or made fun of what I was doing. But now that I think about it, I didn't actually try. I never tried to explain to them that this is what I'm doing now for fun. I just assumed. It's kind of like, how could I not think that way? When growing up, my mom told me, you gotta be a doctor or a lawyer, or at least something in the professional field. How could I not feel like I would be a disappointment if I decided to say that, hey, my hobbies is making videos of me acting really stupid online for everyone to see? And obviously we didn't live in a giant house. They would have, seen the camera on a tripod. So when they saw me kind of hiding it from them, maybe that's how their reaction to it was, that I didn't want to talk about it, so they didn't want to press. It was just a cycle, of what I thought they were thinking and how they thought I would react if they'd said anything. And it's just, the more I kept them excluded from everything I did and from my new interest and soon-to-be job, the more my parents must have felt casted out and didn't want to ask me about it because they would have been afraid. I would have said, why do you care? And I would have scoffed back at them when I thought that they would scoff at me. It was exhausting, and the worst part is a conversation about it never got to happen. The ice never even got to start to melt, because before I even had my graduation ceremony, I had moved out without even telling my parents until the day before. Now, almost 2 years later, I feel like I'm ready to confront my feelings and do something about it. Yes, my parents have a hard time understanding what I do, but a lot of people my age do as well. It's a new industry, especially in Asia. I can't tell you how many times I've had someone my age ask me, so do you actually earn money from this? What is your next step? So I can't blame my parents for not understanding when I never really included them, or I never really tried to even explain to them what this is all about. I'm 23 years old now, and I'm finally realizing that it's about adjusting my expectations. Not lowering it because I know my worth, but just adjusting my point of view. Choosing to understand their actions differently. Instead of being upset that they didn't say this certain thing, realize that that other thing they said or did is their way of showing their support and their love. It's kind of like, what's the point of being mad anymore? If things have been the way they are and they, haven't changed, then I think it's time to realize that things won't change and bend to the way that I want. So instead, it's time to change my mindset and make the relationship with me and my parents the best that it can be. And maybe that way we can make new memories together. And maybe if I were more open and let them in, then they would change their behaviors towards me as well. So I've been thinking, since it's difficult for me and my parents to talk about what I do, maybe the best way is to not talk about it and instead ask them to be a part of it, see if they want to be in a video. It's scary, immediately my mind's like, of course they're gonna say no, but well, this one wants to be in the video. It just gives me flutters in my stomach just thinking about asking them, but just as the past has proven, I'll never know if I don't try. So, dear mom and dad, I'm ready to set aside what I want in our relationship and focus on what we have. I will learn to appreciate the little things that you do that show your love for me, because sometimes that can mean more than the words I love you. It's time for me to accept that your love is unique, the way you love is unique, and that your actions are enough. And maybe all this time I could have brought more of it out of you if I'd been more open and accepting. Dear mom and dad, I love you, and I'm okay to be the one to say it for all three of us. You don't have to say you're proud of me. I'm okay with it.